Yeah, so this past Sunday's race was a little interesting, I would say. Yeah, interesting indeed, because my gosh, I have so much written down here, and we're going to get into all of it, right? Today is Wednesday. Today's my birthday today. I'm officially an adult, which I need to stop being a child. But that's not the important thing today. I still got to get the work done today. So here's the video today. So let's get right into it for NASCAR Cup racing from Nashville. Very chaotic, I would say. Yeah, the race didn't get started until like an hour later. It was supposed to start at 6 p.m. Central Time. It ended up starting like at 7:30, I believe. I was in the pool swimming, so yeah, I just rewatched it right now up until lap 220 because I watched the last 80 laps at home. So, or I'm at home right now. I watched the last 80 laps here at my desk. So, yeah, pretty cool. You have the comp caution because I don't think they practiced. I'm not too sure, but they have the comp caution so they can like tune adjustments and all that to see tire wear and all that analyze. So that was not that. That was pretty much it there. But then you had two cautions in the first stage that were not the competition caution, and coincidentally, both of those cautions were trackhouse drivers or were caused by trackhouse drivers. Not saying it's their fault, and not saying it's their fault because I know what actually is at fault. It was the brake rotor exploding, which yeah, Connor Zilic had that happen to him. He got in the wall. Chastain had that happen to him the exact race right afterwards. Got into the wall as well. Had Michael McDowell spinning out. Trying to avoid Ross Chastain, but that was very interesting to see. Two trackhouse drivers wrecking out because of brake rotor issues, and I did not think that was going to be a prelude to I did not think that was going to be a prelude to what we would see later on. So that was interesting there. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention that at the start of the race, Denny Hamlin completely jumped the start. Like, yeah, you can easily see it. Like, he went way before the restart zone. So, yeah, I mean, I'm a Denny fan, but damn, that was a bad judgment call. Even he knows it was a bad judgment call. So, yeah, but Denny jumped the restart. Ended up recovering pretty well. Actually, he won the race. So, yeah, went from first to P36 to P1, all the way back to P1, climbed all the way back there. And yeah, Hamlin is your winner, but I'll talk about that later on. So, yeah. What happened? This was a fun surprise right there. It happened at the end of stage one. AJ Allmendinger won the stage, which, yeah, they ran a lot of caution laps, so they really only had one lap to do that final lap. But AJ Allmendinger ended up getting the win, which is pretty cool there. Never really see AJ Allmendinger winning stages and all that. So that was a fun surprise there to see. So stage one is finished. So yeah, that's pretty cool there. Didn't really have too much happen in stage two. You had pit cycles go very smoothly. Then right after pit cycles, you had Austin Dillon spin out, which here's my take on it. Dillon spun off the bumper of Buescher. They were trying to avoid slower cars that were just pitting. So yeah, but then Buescher kind of got into the back of Austin Dillon and spun him out. So yeah, that's not intentional there in my opinion because yeah, they're just trying to slow down. They're trying to make their way through without killing each other. So yeah, I mean it's not intentional. Excuse me. But yeah, unfortunate for Dillon. So yeah, that was that. And then you had a deluge of cautions happen afterwards. So yeah, uh, yeah, dude, this was like a rough stretch during the race. The race has been pretty good up until this point, but right as soon as you had that Allmendinger caution, it went into a rough patch. So that was really unfortunate, but let's get into it, I guess. So, yeah. 173, you had AJ Allmendinger in the wall. That was his brake rotor exploding. So that's a third driver in this race at that point that had a brake rotor issue, which, damn, all right, that's very interesting there. And then with 3 to go on the stage, you had Custer, Gilliland, and Corey Heim crash. What I caused that was Corey Heim getting into the back of the 34, which sent him around. I don't think that was intentional either. I just think it was a really bad judgment call by Corey Heim. And they were talking about him in the broadcast too. Like they were talking about him getting a ride next year full time, which that's awesome to see. And he was running top 5 up until then, or mostly in the top 10 up until then. So that's a really good run for Heim. It's just unfortunate that he kind of threw it away here, with a bad call. So he got into the back of the 34, sent him around, and Cole Custer spun out trying to avoid it. So yeah, that was at the end of the stage. Pretty sure Suarez won that stage. So that was pretty cool to see there. 2 stage winners that don't normally win stages, which I love to see there. And Suarez just won the Coke 600 too. This extra 10 points really helped him in the standings, so that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool to see there. Okay, back to the restart and back to another wreck. This time we had Keselowski and Cindric crash out of the race. Wait, not out of the race, but they both wrecked. So yeah. So this one was a similar incident to the Austin and Chris Buescher incident. This time Keselowski spun off the bumper of the 3 car, which I'm gonna stay adamant about this. It was not intentional in my opinion. but it was a really bad misjudgment here as well. Keselowski was lifting, Dylan wasn't. They were avoiding Noah Gragson, who was going very, very slow on track. They were all trying to avoid him, and then Keselowski slowed down a lot. Dylan didn't really use his brakes that much, and he got into the sixth, spun him around. And I forgot how Cindric wrecked, which, okay, that's on me right there. But, yeah, that was a pretty rough stretch there. Restart afterwards, you had Bubba Wallace wreck, and you had Byron involved. Bowman got wrecked too. Buescher involved. So, yeah, we're still going with the cautions, guys. Oh, my gosh. So, what happened here? Carson Hocevar happened. So, yeah, that's unfortunate there. Hocevar went up the track into the 17, who has avoided his fair share of incidents that entire race. The 17 went up into the 23, and the 23 kind of got turned where the 24 was, and then he lost his brakes by accident, clipped the 48, wrecked him. So yeah, that's unfortunate for Wallace. It's been a rough stretch for Wallace. Hopefully he can pick it up soon. It's been a rough stretch. I saw Eric Keystep's video yesterday. He was second in the point standings after the first month of the year, and after the first month of the season. Sorry. But dropped off. He's been kind of in a slump lately, but hopefully he can pick it up because he has talent. I think he's capable to get wins this year as well. So, yeah, unfortunate for Bubba, but I'm hoping he can pick it up. I'm optimistic. So yeah, but we're not done with the cautions just yet. Yay! Thankfully, this one was the last one for a while. Lap 214. That was exactly when I came back. So yeah, so Todd Gilliland and. Sorry, it's a lot. I'm not even letting you. Todd Gilliland and John Hunter Nemechek spun out. What happened here was I think. Okay, I typed Gilliland. Damn it. Looked like Nemechek hit the bump coming off turn 4, which the bump is infamous. You know what I mean, for causing a lot of wrecks. Remember Texas last year? Oh my gosh, that bump is in Texas. I guess it's in Nashville too. But Nemechek hit the bump, got his car very, very loose, and then he just spun around there. So. Yeah, that's about it there. Gillen got involved. He spun around as well, but that was behind the 42, so didn't really see how that happened. So, yeah. Well, then the race goes very smoothly, but what did develop was something pretty interesting there. So Zane Smith pitted on that last caution, like lap 219. That Gilliland and Nemechek spin. That's when Gilliland and Blaney, or not Gilliland, sorry, Zane Smith and Blaney pitted. And yeah, everyone else had stayed out because they pitted a while earlier. So yeah, pit cycles happened. Zane Smith and Ryan Blaney stayed out until they couldn't. Ryan Blaney came in, but Zane Smith was gonna stay until the end, which yeah, it was very intriguing to see. It was very entertaining. Like I was like, okay, how is Zane Smith gonna try and do this? Because the tires at that point were being eaten up like crazy. Yeah, that's about it. And Bell was catching up because Bell, Hamlin, and the others had just finished pit cycles. So they were closing in very, very rapidly. And as soon as Bell passed him, that's when the caution came out again. So, yeah, but seeing that 38 strategy, it made the final laps like more must to watch, I would say. But I really do wish it would have came down to the end of it. It would have been Zane Smith versus Christopher Bell, but I think what happened at the end was much better in my opinion because I'm biased. But yeah, I mean, I really want to see if that battle had carried to the end, or if Zane Smith would have lasted until the end of the race. But yeah, but the caution came out, kind of got him a break a little bit because he got to pit under caution. Didn't really lose that much positions because there's only 15 cars on the lap at that time, so still got a good finish out of it. He got ninth, so. Yeah, but that was very cool. I haven't really seen like differentiating strategies for a while, so that's pretty cool there. But yeah, Chris Buescher got in the wall. Yeah, brake rotor issues were at its peak tonight for some reason. It was a very interesting race. That's 4 cars that wrecked out because of brake rotors exploding for no reason. It was very, very interesting. So yeah. Yeah, and at the end of it, it was an absolutely insane finish to this race, dude. At the white flag, it was 3 wide Gibbs cars: Bell, Briscoe, and Hamlin. It was a very, very fun battle for the final 5 laps, dude. That was insane. But yeah, at the end, it was Denny Hamlin who started first, went back to P36, back to first. So yeah, Denny Hamlin, and he's been close to getting wins at Nashville for years, and now he finally got it. 2023, forgot. I think he got third that race. 2024 was going to win the race until Cindric spun out. Last year, what happened last year? What actually happened last year? I don't know. Oh, he got third, I believe. He got Hocevar got second, Blaney got first, so he was close there. and this is the race where he finally got that win. But I do feel bad for Bell, dude, because this was his race to win. He had the fastest car throughout the final 100 laps. It was doing very, very well all night. It was just unfortunate to see him get second like that. It was unfortunate. I was happy about it, but in the back of my mind, I'm like, damn, that sucks for Bell, dude. Wow. But I really do feel like he's gonna get his first win of the year at some point soon, because he's been showing a lot of speed. I feel like he's due for a win. So, pretty cool there. The race was good. It was very, very chaotic. That's pretty much all about it. So yeah. But before we rate the race, let's go over the top finishers. You had Denny Hamlin get the win. Yeah, oh, actually no, just Gibbs cars in the top three. Briscoe in third, which good finish for him. He needed it. Stenhouse got a top five. That was awesome to see there. And Shane Van Gisbergen, I want to shout out SVG right here, because he was running top 10 most of the night on speed. Like, bro, like raw speed. SVG was running top 10 all night. It was awesome, and he finishes with the top five. Very good points boost for him there, and at some point we're gonna have to fear Shane Van Gisbergen, because he's gonna know how to run. He's gonna start knowing how to win on ovals, and now I'm getting scared. So yeah, Tyler Reddick another top 10. Damn. Got six. Chase Elliott was quiet the entire day. Got seventh. Ryan Blaney got eighth after that strategy. Zane Smith still got a top 10, and Carson Russell for around out your top 10. So yeah, I'm gonna give this race a 3.4 out of 5, like a 6.8 out of 10, I would say. Like rounding it out. So yeah, not that. Actually, no, I'll bump it up 3.5 out of 5. I thought it was a good race. So yeah, that's gonna be it for this one, everybody. Thank you for watching. Though, have a good night. Goodbye. Also, wish me a happy birthday. No, I'm kidding. You don't have to. I don't care.